Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Jim with Passport to Thailand. I hope you're having a great day wherever you are in the world. Welcome to all the new subscribers and viewers. Thank you so much for joining us. My name's Jim. I'm an American expat living in Thailand with my Thai wife for over 4 years. And hey, today's video is a new kind of video for me. I do all sorts of videos about travel and my home and being in the mountains and vacationing in Thailand. And we talk a little bit about business and retirement here. This video, it's a little tough for me to make, to be honest with you, because the reason this video was prompted was through an email I received from a gentleman out of the United States. And it was a really sad email. And I'll just give you an overview about it. He reached out to me. He has been in physical therapy business for many, many years. Lost several jobs year after year, and is completely unemployed. Has mortgage issues, working with the mortgage company to try and keep the house. It's a mess. And he's in his early 50s and reached out for some advice from me. And so that spurred this video. So I don't want it to be a super downer video, but I want it to be honest and reach out to all of the Gen Xers out there that maybe are in a tough spot. Maybe you're in your 50s, you're looking at retirement and you're saying, well, it might not happen. I want to share with you, before making this video, I did some research and I want to read a couple little articles to you that really actually quite surprised me, even in the research of making this video. And so let me just go through some stats here about the Gen X community, including myself. And I find it kind of sobering. So here's what it says. So recent studies indicate that a significant retirement crisis for Generation X, with estimates suggesting that between 37% and over 50% of Gen Xers believe they will not be able to afford to fully retire or be financially unprepared for retirement. That's frightening. And here it says some key statistics on Gen X retirement readiness. And this is in a study done in 2024 and 2025. It said over 50% are unprepared, according to a Northwestern Mutual 2025 Planning and Progress study. 54% of Gen Xers believe they'll not be able to financially be prepared for retirement. 37% can't afford to retire. And this was out of a 2018 TD Ameritrade study as well. 37% of Gen Xers do not believe they'll be able to afford to stop working completely. A lot of these studies, one mention here was a miracle was needed. A 2025 report mentioned that nearly half, 48% of Gen Xers feel it will take a miracle to retire. That is just unacceptable to me. And I'll share my story with you in a little bit here too, but wow, that's really staggering. Working longer, roughly 39% to 43% of Gen Xers expect to work past 70 years old due to financially not being able to stop working. And it goes on and on and on. Kind of talk about Gen X as being the sandwich generation. First time I've heard that. Says many are simultaneously caring for aging parents and children, which limit their ability to save. So, and it goes on and on and on. Here's another one. Significant savings shortfall. Gen Xers are considered the least prepared generation, with a 2025 survey finding that they expect to fall roughly $400,000 short of the 1.1 needed for a comfortable retirement. All right, I'm going to stop reading right there because that's just starting to get my blood going. But here's the reality of all these different surveys and studies out there for Gen Xers. I've got to tell you, you don't need $1 million to retire. And this is where all the financial advisors are going to lose their hair and start putting all the hate mail on the comments. And that's just great. But I'm just going to tell you, I retired at 53. I had no money in the markets. I didn't have a financial planner ever in my life. I made some key decisions in my 30s, which enabled me to retire early at 53. And a lot of it had to do with being self-employed and having rental real estate. And my wife and I met late in life and married, but she followed the same path. And that's what fueled our early retirement here in Thailand. So I just want to share with you, if you're a Gen Xer and you're out there and you're struggling and I want you to be brutally honest with yourself. I know you're caught up in the day-to-day grind. You're going to work, you're in traffic, you got this, you got kids, you've got all sorts of stuff going on, and life's going by day after day, and all of a sudden you hit 50 within 10, 12 years or so of what they call retirement. I want you to be honest with yourself. Write it down, break it down. What's your retirement really going to look like? Are you still going to have a mortgage payment at that point in your life? I'm trying to facilitate thought and honesty with yourself right now. I'm not trying to point fingers or to judge anyone. I'm here to help. My channel, Passport to Thailand, is to try and give you some options about having a really nice retirement, a retirement that better than you ever thought you could have in the States. And for those of you that are well off and multi-millionaires, that's great. For those of you that are not, um, you have options, and you have options to live exceptionally well in Thailand, like I did. And here's what I can tell you. Take some time if you have the opportunity. I suggest you like the video, subscribe. If you're thinking about retirement and you maybe can't do it in the US and you're looking at Thailand as an option, please be a subscriber. I'm building a community of people that can communicate together with each other and myself about what it's like to retire in Thailand. I'm an open book. For those of you that have seen my channel, I just show you my life and what you can have and what it costs. And it's actually probably the best time I've ever made a video is now about what's happening. What's happening in the US right now is really sad. Um, and again, I'm trying not to make this a downer email or a downer video, but the fact of the matter is there's a lot going on right now with a lot of people that need some help, need some support, some options on where to go for retirement. So let's break it down about retirement in Thailand. How do you do it? Where do you start? And is it really something you want to do? So I was asked, I don't know, a couple months ago, what prompted me to start thinking about my retirement and Thailand and how did I end up here? Well, it's kind of a long story. I'll just kind of give you the thumbnail version here, but I worked in the financial industries over 35 years, and I owned a few small financial services companies. But when I worked for a financial firm, I was there during the 2008 crash. And while that affected everyone across the country, including myself, what really stood out to me, which what I call is the slap in the face or the kick in the shins, the wake up call, was there was a gentleman that worked at this firm for 30 years and was getting ready to retire at the end of 2008. Great guy, an executive with the firm, and long story short, 2008 hit. It wiped out half of his pension and some other investments that he had. And at his age, now he waited till 65 to retire. And so at 65, he could no longer retire. He told me, he says, Jim, it's just not going to happen. And he said, quite honestly, the amount of money that I've lost, I think I'll live long enough to actually financially recover. And what I was getting set up to have as a retirement here in the States isn't going to happen. I cannot retire. And I remember that conversation like it was yesterday, and this is 2026. That was the wake-up call for me. That was the moment I took a hard look, and I was in my mid-40s at the time. And that was the time when I said, oh my God, I'm working my butt off. I'm trying to do all the right things. And I was until 2008. Surprises happen. And I know for all of you, you all have gone through them. You've lost jobs, been fired, you relocated, you got screwed over to an organization like most of us have by for a lot of reasons. I'll talk on another video about that. But so that was the start of my journey on looking outside of the US for retirement options. And that's when I started looking at YouTube and researching different things. And I was lucky enough throughout my younger years, my 30s, to travel. I went to South America and other countries in Europe. And I realized that, boy, it is a little bit nicer. And this would be a nicer type of retirement. Fast forward, and my wife now, who I met late in life, she's Thai. She brought me to Thailand during COVID because she knew I was burned out and I needed a break. So we went through all the hoops and the quarantines and all that crap to get here. We spent a month up in northern Thailand, where she's from, and I absolutely fell in love with the country. And even at that point, I wasn't thinking retirement yet because I still had businesses running at full speed and everything back in the States. But when I got home, and a few months went by and the dust settled, and her and I started talking about Thailand again and how cheap it was and the quality of life and so on and so forth, we realized that we could retire now. We didn't have to wait till we were 62 and $1 million in the bank and all of that. That's if you're going to stay in the U.S. Absolutely, you're going to need more than that if you want to have any kind of quality retirement. So we crunched the numbers and realized that we could retire very early, and we did. And so a year after we returned from our trip from Thailand, we were here building our dream home, and I did a whole video on that. You can watch that. And we retired, and it's been a great retirement. And if you look at some of my earlier videos to the weight that I had and brought over from the U.S. and the health issues, I've improved my health so much just by living here and eating the food and being in the environment here. So there's a lot of positives, and I'll talk more about that later on. But what I wanted to focus on is that's the story that brought me here. And I'm sure many of you have the same kinds of stories, similar stories. You're watching Passport to Thailand. Obviously, you're interested in Thailand and maybe my story. And I appreciate that. And again, thank you for all the new subscribers. I greatly appreciate it. This is the first video I've done where I haven't been on camera. And the reason for that is because I've got a whole bunch of documents here that I wanted to read and some stats, and I didn't want to miss anything because this video is important. This video is going out to the Gen Xers, not only in the United States, but around the world that might be in a similar situation. And I want you to know there's hope. I want you to know there's options. I want you to know that Thailand's an option. I want you to know that Vietnam's an option, Malaysia, Singapore, the Philippines, and throughout South America and also your parts of Europe. You have options. Now, whether you choose Thailand or not is up to you, but I recommend at least come for a vacation and come for a visit. And for those of you that have followed me from the very beginning, if you'd like to come and meet with me and my wife and our family here in northern Thailand and kind of see what it's really like to live in Thailand as an expat, you're welcome. You can always reach out to me. For those of you that have followed the channel, my wife and I built a hotel up in northern Thailand. So we've got obviously a lot of place to have people come and visit. So if you're thinking about, as a Gen Xer in the United States, that you can't retire and you've kind of just brushed it off and you're going to work till you die, please don't think like that. Please don't put yourself in that position, because there are options. And I've done many videos about what the cost of retiring in Thailand, but the fact of the matter is, for $2,000 or even $3,000 a month or less, you can live in Thailand comfortably, very comfortably. And people have asked me, well, what do you spend, Jim? What do you spend? Well, I don't spend very much because I'm not a consumer anymore. I'm not like in the US. I'm not at the mall spending money on frivolous bullshit all the time or trying to keep up with the Joneses. So I'm not spending money like I did back in the States. But I would just say this: if you're able through either Social Security or a savings or some kind of a small online business, you can make $2,000 a month. You can retire right now in Thailand if you're over the age of 50. So $2,000 is what I call the entrance to play, so to speak. If you can make $2,000 a month, you can have a very comfortable life here. Rents and stuff, I've done other videos on that if you want to rent or buy. I recommend if you really like Thailand and you come over here, purchase a condo or purchase a home or a townhome. Yes, you can do it. No, as a foreigner, you can't own the land, but you can get a lease for 100 years. There are many, many ways to come to Thailand and be comfortable. And I just wanted to share that with you. And you have options. As a Gen Xer, my heart goes out to you. You're part of my life. We all grew up together through the same craziness. And, I'm trying to give back with this channel. And I hope that the channel resonates with you, and my information inspires you and gives you hope that you can retire. So my fellow Gen Xers, and those are people born between 1965 and 1980. I was born in 1969, for those that are interested. I'm 56 as of this video. I want you to know there's options, and Thailand's a great option. So if I can ask, please like this video, please share this video, please subscribe. One thing I've noticed is that YouTube is very selective on what kind of videos they promote, and it seems on my channel, when I talk honestly about Thailand as a retirement option, it seems that Thailand or YouTube doesn't push the videos at all. So if I can ask your help to help get the channel boosted and out to people that it can really help, specifically this video. If you are a Gen Xer, if you know a Gen Xer, friends of a Gen Xer that is struggling and that retirement might not be something that they can do in life, please share this video with them, because you have options. And becoming an expat might seem daunting and scary and overwhelming. I did it. You can do it. I'm just a regular guy that got fed up and looked for some options and found them. And I'm very lucky to be where I'm at today. And I want to be able to help you have that same experience, whether it be Thailand or somewhere else in the world. So without further ado, I just want to say thanks for watching the video. Please help me get this message out to our fellow Gen Xers who need a little encouragement, a little hope, and maybe a little guidance. And I just want to be able to help and change people's lives for the better. And that's the whole purpose of Passport to Thailand. So with that, everybody, thank you so much for watching the video. Remember, in life, there are always options. There certainly are in Thailand. And I will see you on the next video. Take care, everybody. Love you. Bye-bye.